Welcome to coach interview number 4 with I won't say his name so that he can debunk how to say his name correctly. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, Big Shane. It's Big Shane.
There you go. Myth debunked. But all right. So the first question is, general introduction. How'd you get your team name and your username?
Okay. So username is like a family thing. So like my brother he made his first gamer tag like a long time ago, and he went as like he's my younger brother, and he went as Lil Shane, and I was just like, oh okay, let's just keep it like a family thing. So like my mom's like Instagram handle is like Mom Shane. My sister's is like Baby Shane. So it's just like a whole thing. So I
All
just
right,
kept it
all
like
right.
universal on all platforms. And then I guess what Tennessee Red Gyarados
Yeah.
is because I'm not good at making names. Hence why I don't ever do nicknames either. And I was like, I'm in Tennessee and I love Red Gyarados, and I was just like, there we go.
All right, so then do you want to explain why you've had like 5 different team names? You got like Half Moon Hydreigons, something with Sill Valley, uh, then you got the Red
Oh
Gyarados.
yeah, so like I always like to pick like one mon each draft to be like the motivational, not motivation, like the emotional pick or whatever that
hmm
like doesn't fit the symmetry or the synergy of the team, and so just like whoever that's going to be ends up being the mascot.
All
It's
right.
such a childish reason.
And then, is there anything else you just want to share about yourself, just so people get to know you better? So you're not just, this guy hiding behind a Gyarados.
Let's
Anything you
see.
like, stuff you like to do,
I mean,
hobbies.
like I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show here in I guess 5 weeks from now. So I got like less than 5 weeks left. So
All right.
competitive bodybuilder and like personal trainer. So like I wanted to be a trainer and
All right.
with Pokemon, the closest I got with people.
All right. So then, how did you get into competitive Pokemon and draft leagues?
Okay, so competitive. So when I was in Pensacola, like I used to like I did like Navy Reserve stuff, and I was down for like a year. And when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, like this one dude was like, "Bro, have you ever like he was like, let's battle." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like I'll just beat you with my like whatever." He's like, no, there's rules to this. I'm like, "What?"
There's rules.
I was like, "Okay." He's like, "You can't use your legendaries," and I was like, "All right, that's fine." So I just was like starters or whatever, and got just beat down. And I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Bro, let me tell you." So he introduced me to like EV spreads and like all this stuff, and I was like, "All right." So this isn't just like a kids game. Like there's actual stuff to it.
I mean, XY Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, that's like the perfect time to like start learning it, I'd say. I think that's when most people started learning it because that was when they actually like kind of showed them in game because you had the what was it, the training bags or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
exactly. I'd never
perfect.
heard of it before.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. So then I kind of got into it from there. I could never beat this guy until like a year later. And then I finally like was able to to get him.
And
But
then we quit. No,
and then he's done.
and then so that's competitive. So how'd you get into draft leagues?
So funny enough, I was like, I like this competitive battle thing. So I was like searching like endlessly like on Reddit, and I found this like gym leader challenge thing that T for You had or was a part of. So I joined in that and like made some like funky water team and did that for like a year, and then just like no contact with anybody about it too much. And then T for You was like, "Hey man, would you be interested in doing a draft league?" And I was like, "Oh sweet." He's like, "We need a replacement coach for the UPL," and I was like, "Oh okay, like this sounds fun." So like I remember like it was an evening too. Like I remember like coming home after work and I was like, "All right, dude, I'm stoked about this." I'm like trying to make these picks. I had no idea like how to use the spreadsheet or whatever. I'm pretty sure I was just like an idiot. And I was like, all right, craft. I'm gonna swap out whatever. It was like Mega Glalie, and then I like picked Mega Gyarados, and that was just where I
Of
like fell in
course.
love after that.
Of course it was the Gyarados. All right. Um, so do you have a favorite thing to draft and why is it Mega Gyarados? But like in all seriousness, it can be like any specific Pokemon, a core, a gimmick, or an ability, like anything.
No, it is Mega Gyarados, and it's I've just won so many games with it for no reason other than the fact that it just like that's my boy. I'm like I could be down
That's my boy.
1-6, and I'm like we can still win. We can just time this out perfectly, and I've done it enough.
All right. Uh,
It's like Ash's Pikachu.
what is your favorite team or core that you have drafted, if you have one?
Oh, uh, dude, honestly, my season 5 team, like, I love that team so much. It like worked so well. I don't even remember who all was on it.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen.
I
Beauty of
think it
video
was,
editing.
oh, sweet. It was, I know I had like Gladios,
I know I had
Ferrothorn.
a Mega Gyarados.
Yeah, I had Mega Gyarados for sure. For sure.
All
It
right.
had Lantern. I think it had Lantern. And I know what it is. Yeah, it was a regen core, as a Mungus, a Lolamola, like
Ugh,
Ferrothorn.
ugh.
Yeah, it was just a good regen core is
All right.
always a go-to for me.
All right. How do you usually go about prepping for your matches? This season we have quite a bit of newer coaches. People are new to competitive. So, what advice do you give to them, for prepping for a match?
I'll always I use a spreadsheet that like has like speeds, priority, and on it, and then like I like see like what the max speed I need to run like Scarf to beat their like fastest mon.
Hmm.
So I always have like all the speeds written out, any priority they have, and I have it like in like top down order. That way it's just easy to see. And then like I make a list of like who's a guaranteed bring, who's a maybe, and who's a no. So that way I can kind of like it's like the like when you take a test, how there's always like one wrong answer. You can just take it out. So it's like there's that.
Okay.
And then like I'll just kind of like see what has like what their big threats are. If I have any checks to that, and if I do, then it kind of dictates if I'm going to play like defensively, or if it's like I don't have a check for that, so there's no point in trying to prep around it. So then I'll change my play style for the match. It's going to be like we're going to just like with the Lance team, for example,
Hmm.
this season. It's going to be probably more so just we're going to pound you into the ground type approach as a trying
Yeah.
as a opposed to trying to like figure out how am I going to take hits, because it's like if you
The
if you just don't have
Lapras.
stuff that yeah sure. Like if you just don't have the walls to do it, it's better to
Yeah.
just like fit your play style for that.
All right.
And then like there's always something that like sticks out to me whenever I like and I'm prepping. Like there's always like one mon I just usually get like a good feeling. I'm like I think this thing can do it, and then I try and build around that. I don't really know how to explain that, but it happens all the time. I'm just like that's the key, and it almost always ends up being the key.
Yeah.
It's just like some little niche thing.
All right. As someone who also runs their own league, what would you say are some of the quote unquote foundational pillars that make up a league?
A good set of rules, um, like an organized timeline. Like you have to have a good doc. I think
By
that's
timeline, you
important.
mean like
Yeah, like
prepping for the
when
like all the preparation dates, like start dates. Okay, this is when the league's gonna start. This is when drafts start. That, or are you referring to something else?
yeah that and like how long the season's going to be,
Okay.
and just like how long stuff needs like timelines for when matches need to be done, because like there's been some that have been it's like oh just get it done whenever, and it's like there should
Yeah.
probably be an end point to that.
Yeah.
So that I think like a good like mod system, like a group of mods helps, because keeping the server from getting rowdy is always something.
It's always something. Yeah.
Um, and then just like trying to make it like just a good like community in general, because
All
at the end
right.
of the day it's supposed to be fun.
It is. Yeah. Um, I guess to end this off, do you have any questions you want to ask me?
I had nothing. I was gonna try and see if I could get you to just make a Gyarados a little cheaper and give me first pick next draft. That's fine.
So to do that, what you're gonna have to do is. All right. Well, with that, that's the end of the interview. So thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude.
All right, and I'll see you guys all later.